Hello, Internet. Well, this is one of those videos where right off the bat, I'll tell you, I almost was not going to record tonight because I'm not feeling well and I haven't felt well at all this last week. And also, I feel like I look like garbage. It's just, I've been suffering quite a bit. And, I sometimes I ask myself, okay, why do I do videos and when do I do videos? And I realize that usually I record videos when I'm feeling good and when I'm in a positive mood. And honestly, the last few days, I'm not feeling good and I'm not in a positive mood. And I thought, well, maybe I should just be honest and let you guys know what's going on. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks and 1 day since my last treatment. I think I explained in the last video that I have a 3 day, or sorry, a 3 week uh, break between treatments this time. I don't go back until April the 8th, which is next Wednesday, 6 days from now. Um, and I've been very surprised that I have not recovered very well from my last cycle of treatment. My skin is on fire. That means it's either burning in some places or itching like crazy. I find myself waking up in the nighttime going, just itching all over. I'm wearing this cap because my scalp is full of scabs from the acneiform rash that turns into pimples and eventually gets really itchy and then it scabs over. I think I mentioned before, kind of like chicken pox. So so anyway, my scalp is starting to peel off. In addition to that, I have been dealing with some extreme fatigue the last several days, I would say. Actually, most of this post cycle 5 period, I have felt, I would say the majority of days I've felt very tired and very fatigued, with even some shortness of breath and also very low blood pressure, which I didn't even check my blood pressure until a day or two ago and found that it was like dangerously low. So yesterday, I called, or actually, I went online and I did the symptom report stuff for my oncology clinic here locally, and they got back to me within about an hour. And they, it was a triage nurse, and she spent about, gosh, half an hour with me online. I was impressed with how thorough she was. Um, But basically, what she decided was that I needed to contact my cardiologist at Mayo to see about my uh, heart medications, because I've been on metoprolol and valsartan since 2 years ago when I had my heart valve replacement surgery. So my blood pressure runs low. It has, you know, a normal blood pressure for me is like around 100 or 110 over 60 or something. But the issue is the last couple of days it was down into the 70s and 80s consistently, and that's way too low. So okay, so I got in touch with my cardiologist at Mayo and he cut my valsartan dose in half. That was just as of yesterday. So I've only had a couple of doses that have been reduced. And also, she set me up to go to the clinic locally here today to get fluids via my port. They also took blood. They did blood work. Um, and she said, let's get you fluids and also maybe a magnesium infusion as well. So I spent the entire morning. We had sleet and freezing rain. It was 32 degrees this morning with all kinds of just horrible, cold, wet, bleh. The trees were icing up, but fortunately the streets were just wet. but I headed out at 7:40 this morning for an 8 o'clock, 8:15 appointment. Um, and I was there until about 11 something. So I spent my morning getting infusions and the blood draw. Uh, Blood draw showed that my hemoglobin was still low, but not dangerously low. Yesterday on the phone, she was concerned that because of the super low blood pressure, that maybe I was becoming extremely anemic. And, if you have a hemoglobin level below about 7.5 or 7, then they start to talk about transfusions. And I didn't know that yesterday as far as what my hemoglobin number would be. But like I said, it came in at 12.1, which is, it's low, but it's not dangerously low. So, yeah. I don't know if how many people are still hanging with me on this, because this is a very technical and a very kind of negative video, but I just felt like I wanted to get on here. It's been 9 days and let you know how I'm doing. So this is part of the battle, I guess. In addition to the blood work and the infusions today, I also had about a half an hour discussion with my nurse practitioner who works with my local oncologist. And we had that, deep dive discussion about treatment versus quality of life. And the fact that my treatment has always worked for me. It's always kept my cancer under control. But at the same time, I'm experiencing some of the most intense side effects that I've had in 3 years. I don't know why that is. Who knows? They say that when you have bad side effects, that means that the treatment is working. So I guess I can look at it in a positive way and say, well, apparently these drugs are still working and doing what they're supposed to be doing. But at the same time, it wrecks the rest of my body. And I can't live like this. So we are going to have to look at the schedule moving forward. April is a very busy month because I have treatment scheduled April 8th and the 22nd. And I have actually a cardiology update on the 15th. So I got to go to Mayo for that. And then on the 28th, also I have to go down to Mayo for my restaging scans and all that stuff that we do every 3 months. So April is going to be a busy month. 2 rounds of treatment, cardiology, and then scans. And so, how you guys know I try to be positive, but sometimes I'm like, how can I have any other thing going on in my life when I have to do all this stuff? But again, I am grateful for family, and I've talked about that all the time. I can't be grateful enough for my wonderful family that supports me, and what would I do without them? And also great friends who send me messages and encouragement all the time. I've said this before, life is hard. We all have problems. I happen to have cancer, but a lot of you are going through difficult things as well. And I don't think my problems are any worse than yours. It's just different flavor, right? It's a different kind of problem. You could have a YouTube channel talking about your problems as well, right? Just because I have cancer doesn't make me like some kind of a special case. I've learned that really, honestly, over the last few years, that in this world you shall have trouble, right? So, okay, it is Good Friday tomorrow. A lot of you that follow here on this channel are followers of our Lord, and tomorrow is a very kind of emotional day, Good Friday, when Jesus was kind of hammered to a cross. Think of how awful that would be. But then we get to look forward to Easter Sunday when he rose and proved that he could conquer death, and that is our hope and promise as well. So for those of you that embrace Christ and believe in the message of resurrection and redemption, I wish you a very happy Easter. And yeah, that's it for now.